Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how a Speedcuber solves the 5x5. So let's get right into it. So the 5x5 is essentially an extension of the Rubik's Cube and it has a lot more pieces, evidently. These inner pieces are called center pieces and there are 9 of them on each face. So that's a total of 54 center pieces on the 5x5. Then these pieces connecting two faces are called edge pieces. And as you can see, there's so you can see 1, 2, 3 between each of these outer pieces, there's 3 edge pieces. So there are 36 edge pieces on the 5x5 and these outer pieces are called corner pieces. And there's 8 of them on the 5x5. Now that we know that, let's see how a Speedcuber actually solves the 5x5. So here's a completely scrambled 5x5 puzzle, and the way that I'm going to solve this is a method called reduction, where you essentially reduce the 5x5 to a 3x3 or a Rubik's Cube. So this is a method that a lot of Speedcubers use at the highest levels as well, although another method is really taking over the world right now, but let's not go into that because we don't use it yet. We will use it eventually. Let's not go into that because that is another method in itself. So the first thing I look for is a way to solve the center pieces. So I'm trying to solve all of the center pieces on a given face in order to make it one giant block of centers. For example, if I start with red here, I see there's already quite a few pieces solved here. So I could start with red and just make bars and align the bars so that I can make the center. So that's one red center, and then I keep going from there. So for example, I would do orange next in pretty much the exact same fashion. So that's 2 centers, and then I would keep going, right? So I will just do green. That's green done, and then I would do white. That's white done, and then I would do blue. That's blue done, and obviously once blue is done, that's yellow done. So of course I never follow the same order. I can start on any center, but this is how a Speedcuber would solve the centers, and that's honestly reduced a huge part of it. The next part is edges. So similar to how we were making blocks on the centers, we also want to make edge blocks so as to reduce them to singular blocks, I should say. So the first thing, let's say I see this white blue and this white blue. I try and align them and I look for the third white blue, which is here. So just like that, I have a white blue. It's not a pair technically, it's like a block because it's 3 pieces, the triplet. And I would look for something else. I would take this out into the top layer. Say I have red yellow here and the red yellow here. I would look for that, align it, and similar to how I did it for the centers, I would just keep going. So you keep making blocks like this and you keep solving more of them as you go along, and eventually you're hoping to solve all of the edges, which is not a very hard step. In fact, there's a lot of freedom involved in this step. For example, now I've solved 8 edges, all the bottom and top edges. So now I have to solve the last few edges, and here I would just pair them up, and just like that, we're done with edges. So hooray, now we have the centers solved as well as the edges solved, which means this is just a 3x3 now, because each triplet of edges is now essentially one edge, and each set of 9 centers is essentially one center, and the corners were always one corner each. So I would just solve this like a Rubik's Cube then. So I would solve the cross, and then I would solve the first pair, second pair, third pair, and fourth pair. So that's F2L, and then I would do OLL, and then PLL. So if you don't know how to solve a 3x3, you should check out my tutorial. I'll link it up here. The playlist is there, and it's easy to find. So that's how a Speedcuber solves a 5x5. So if you want to learn how to solve this puzzle entirely, please let me know and I will make a tutorial. And for now, that's all for this video. You can enjoy me doing some solves. I will also post these solves in a separate video as an average, but you can enjoy some of my good solves on a 5x5 session recently. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care and peace.